Hey, what's up, Roy, man? Good to talk to you.
How you doing?
Chilling, man. I'm actually working with Jeremy Williams. You know, he's fighting James Toney. I don't know,
Nice.
I don't know if you heard about that. They're doing like an exhibition.
Yeah, I
Um,
heard about it.
yeah. So I think I'm gonna be commentating that. I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
so I wanted to ask you, man, why did you never try and snatch up that cruiserweight title? Because you've cleaned out everything. What made you just jump over the cruiserweight just to kind of complete all of it?
To be honest with you, bro, what I did, I wasn't trying to complete it all. I really was just looking for history, and I was looking for a challenge. And the cruiserweight division was one of the quiet divisions at that time. I never thought about it. I should have, but I just didn't think about it because the division was so quiet that, like, for me to fight a cruiserweight, nobody knew the cruiserweight champions really no way. So who you gonna be beating a cruiserweight? And I wouldn't think about the whole history thing. I didn't think about that till later on. I was thinking about the history of going after 106 years, a middleweight champion winning the heavyweight title. So that's the history I saw. I never thought about the whole thing, which I think about now, which is what you said. You should go all the way up. I wasn't thinking about it like that. I was just looking for challenges. I would go in there and decide I want to fight for the heavyweight title. So I'm like, okay, who got the belt? Holyfield. I went to Atlanta, asked Holyfield to fight me. He said no. He said he had too much to lose and not enough to gain. I said, okay, well, that's fine. I went back, and then he lost to Ruiz, and Ruiz said, I'll fight you. I said, okay, well, let's get it. But I never even considered the cruiserweight because nobody in the cruiserweight division was there that they thought could beat me. So I wouldn't think about them. The division was too quiet.
Right.
I wish I would have because I would have completed the whole top ladder. You feel me?
Yeah. That's what I was waiting
Yeah.
for.
So, but I wasn't thinking about that then because I was the type of guy. I wasn't looking for easy wins. I was looking for challenges. You
Mhm.
feel me?
Mhm. Mhm. We.
So I was a little different. I didn't want to fight just because it was an easy win. I wanted to fight because it was a challenge. No middleweight champion won the heavyweight title. Middleweight champion won the cruiserweight title. There wasn't no cruiserweight back when they was trying to do that. So
Right.
that wasn't really the challenge. The challenge was, can a middleweight champ win a heavyweight title to do it?
Right.
That
Right.
was that's what the challenge. I
So.
was after challenges more than I was belts or history at that time. And actually, that was going to be history because we wasn't no super middleweight division back then either.
Mhm.
So nobody had won middleweight, super middleweight, like heavyweight and heavyweight. And nobody still never turned pro as a junior middleweight and became heavyweight champ. So those were the two things I was trying to do.
Wow. Um. Before
I
you.
know what I knew now, I would have won the cruiserweight title because it would have made more sense. But at the time, I was looking for challenges. I really want trying to do nothing that I thought was easy. I want the hardest challenge I could find.
Right. But before you came on, we were talking about. I put you as the greatest fighter of all time. Um. For a lot of reasons. I was going to ask you, who do you put, in your opinion, who are your top three greatest fighters of all time?
Oh,
It's
this is
very
gonna be dope. This is gonna be dope. Go
no,
ahead, Roy.
it's very hard to say, man, because there are so many fighters, and truthfully speaking, I hate to do that sometimes because
Right.
without so many other fighters ahead of me, I would have never learned what I learned and put it all together and became what I became.
Right.
So to me, the greatest will always be Muhammad Ali because not what he did inside the ring as much as what he did outside the ring. So I'll never put nobody over Muhammad Ali because that's why I started boxing. You feel me? But
Hmm.
when you go after that, you can go so many places. And the only reason I always put myself probably at the top of my own list after Muhammad Ali is because I had Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Wilfred Benitez, Marvin Hagler, all these guys, Salvador Sanchez, Roberto Duran. I had all these guys to go pick out what they did best and put it in my style. So how could I not be the next best pound for pound, probably the greatest best pound for pound of all time? But I'll never put myself and say the greatest of all time is always could be Muhammad Ali to me. Because if I didn't see him, I never would have started boxing.
Mm.
So I can't put myself over the great Muhammad Ali. But I must say I took more from more fighters. I spent more hours more than probably any other fighter I know in boxing gyms working on styles. I mean, I go all the way back from taking the left liver shot from Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. You hear me?
Oh,
That's how cold I am with it. I got so much. I couldn't. If I sit there and had to tell you everything I took from every fighter, we'd be on the phone for an hour. So how can I not be the best pound for pound? I don't just know how to shoulder roll. I don't just know how to use the back foot. I don't just know I know how to do it all. Who else I ever seen could do it all? I don't know nobody. I don't know
Yeah.
nobody else. Everybody had stuff they did well. Sugar Leonard had stuff he did well, but they didn't have it all. It's hard to pass by the head. But because I had all of them before me, that's what allowed me to be able to go take the best of what they had and make it and put it all together into one person.
Right.
Because it's hard for me to see anybody else that did it. I don't know anybody else that did that.
We were having this conversation before, and some people think that because you were unorthodox, right? But you don't have to be fundamentally sound to be amongst the greatest fighters, because you Prince Nassim, for example, proved that shit. Like, you know what I mean? I think what you did was so much more amazing because you were doing it off script, and you would and people just didn't know what to do with you.
Yeah, not only that, you don't see nobody duplicate what I did. They try, it has never been duplicated before. I did things that were original content because of how much I learned in boxing. You feel me?
Yeah.
Not only that, when they talk about it, like you got to remember, they always talk about Floyd's defense. Well, to me, Wilfred Benitez was the best defensive fighter I ever seen. But they give it to Floyd. I would give it to Pernell Whitaker, because Pernell Whitaker was a defensive assassin who also had an awesome offense. So it's like I hit them, but I don't pay no attention. But the only boxer in CompuBox history to ever go one whole round without getting hit is Roy Jones Jr.
Brutal.
Against Pazienza, I remember.
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, but now, and I'm not saying trying to blow my own horn, because I don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not blowing my own horn. I'm just saying that I have a hard time with these people because they don't look at the facts. You feel me? Look at the stats right there in front of them. I want a whole, and this wasn't no bum. This was Benny Panel who went from 135 to 168.
Yeah,
that's world champion. You understand me?
Can I say something, Roy? I was me and Jeremy met training. We both were in Kevin Rooneys camp back in the 90s, right? So I remember I was up there. I was with Kevin training with him when you and Vinny scheduled, and I remember looking at Kevin, and Kevin really thought Vinny was going to beat you. Like, he wasn't even. And I remember getting in arguments with him, like, Kevin, do not take this fight. It is a bad idea. But he was ride or die with Vinny, but didn't turn out too well for him.
Well, my point was, I really didn't want to fight Benny because Benny already was coming off of a broke neck, which was sensational.
Yes.
And if anyone want to fight the best fighter pound for pound off of a broke neck, was saying a whole lot about Benny anyway. You feel me? I didn't want to fight because I didn't want nothing to happen to him, because I knew he was game enough to do it. But I didn't want to be, if something did happen, I didn't want to be the person that something happened to him with. You know what I mean? But they knew that if they got my partner in a counter title fight and say they were gonna guarantee him a title fight, which they gave him the USBA title that night, I was like, okay, that's the only reason I took the fight. If they weren't for him getting my partner Smoke Gainer at the time a title fight, I wouldn't have took the fight, because I was afraid for Benny more so than Benny was. Benny didn't give a care at all, because Benny just want to fight. You don't care. But I knew he had been an accident, and I knew I was a little bit more than what they bargained for. They didn't know it, but I did.
Yeah, I mean, people used to criticize you, which is crazy to me, for sometimes being too cautious. But I was saying, I think we want to get you on our show so you could give Jeremy some tips on how to beat James Toney, because you're the man who knows. What I was going to ask you was this. We spoke with Montel Griffin a couple times, me and Jeremy. And Montel said, of course he's going to say this, that he thought that you hit him on purpose because he was frustrating you. So my question to that is, and I don't think that's my theory, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but I remember before the fight you were being interviewed and you go, what I'm going to do with Montel is I'm going to feint, let him counter, and then I'm going to counter his counter. And
exactly.
And do you think that made it harder for you? Because in the second fight, you just fuck this shit. You're just going right at him.
Well, it's like the song I made for the Montel fight. I made a song. If you ever go back and listen, they didn't play it that loud, but the song was called "Take," because I knew to fight another, I got to be more than him. Montel Griffin was doing a lot of different things in that. My coach kept trying to go to the referee and stick them. I kept telling him, no, leave him alone. Let him do whatever he's doing. He gonna quit. Leave him alone. Let him go. Don't worry about it. I'm good. Let him do whatever he needs. I want him to be at his best. Please don't say nothing to the referee. Let the referee do what he wants to do. I'm gonna win anyway. He can't take it personally. And that's basically what happened. Now, when he went down on one knee, he already 5'7". Referee, I didn't hit him like that. He just went down. So basically, he was quitting. No, you can't quit on me. No, but if the referee said stop, guess what? I stopped. Referee, so hoping the referee gonna say stop if you gonna call him down. But if you got to call him down, I know you down. Because like I said, I'm trained to go. All the referee had to do was say stop. And I walked to the neutral corner. I ain't gonna do another punch. But the referee ain't say that.
Yep.
Because the referee say that, I'm gonna keep going to the referee tell me something. The boxing world shouldn't be getting an Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford fight right now. People think I hate Earl Spence. I don't hate Earl Spence. I think Earl's a good damn fighter. I just want to see him and Terrence Crawford fight. Of course, I seen more of Terrence Crawford's fight than I saw Earl Spence because I was commentating on HBO. I seen the rising of Terrence Crawford. I seen when he beat the first dude, Brady Prescott, who he wasn't even supposed to fight, and he beat him. So of course, I seen a lot more from him than I saw of Earl Spence. But that don't mean I don't think Earl got a chance. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I just seen more out of Crawford than I saw out of Earl because I was commentating on HBO where he was fighting it. People take that and say, oh, Earl don't like Earl. I don't think Earl got a chance. That's not true. Y'all take my words and turn the wrong way. I'm just saying, first of all, both of them need to be in front of each other right now. Why we playing? Why y'all not fighting? Y'all the best two welterweights out there. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna let the little English boy come up and get enough heat, and he gonna end up taking over the division.
Thank you.
Because that little dude can fight too.
Yeah, that boy can fight.
That little dude can fight too. But y'all supposed to bend, put all the other stuff out the way, tell y'all promoter either y'all gonna make this fight happen or y'all gonna let me go. You understand? You gotta stay your ground at some point. I stood my ground against my own people. I said, I'm not fighting him for no guarantee. I don't want nothing else to do with Barbell. I don't want number. If I don't give a $600, I don't care because I'm finna win. I ain't fighting for the money. I'm finna become pound for pound the best. I'm finna beat the best fighter fighting. That's what I'm finna do. What y'all talking about, I don't want to hear about that. I don't want no insurance if I lose. If I lose, I'm going rock bottom. That's what I'm willing to do. That's how much I believe I'm better than him.
I think
and that's
Floyd,
what I did. That's how I became a free man.
I think Floyd Mayweather started kind of the trend when he should have fought Pacquiao in like 05 or whatever it was. And then they both started, I think, going back and forth with the ego. I'm the A side, I'm the A side, and they never fought. But when you go back to people cut from your cloth, Roy, you wanted to prove you were better because you knew that after you beat this dude, you will be the A side. So it's okay. You know what I mean? And I wish more fighters were like that now. But like you said, they're not.